to talk. Welcome, one and all. We got a lot of updates we're gonna be covering, and on my main stream today, you will not want to miss it because I've got a lot of things I want to cover. In fact, a guy called me at the end. This was just one of these disgusting liberals called me at the end of my stream yesterday and was really trashing Charlie Kirk, and I pulled it up and I'm going to share it with everyone, and you won't want to miss it. I'm not going to get into what it is, but I'm tired. I'll share it on the stream. I'm tired of these leftists slandering Charlie Kirk, taking things he said and totally misrepresenting them. And I'm just fed up with it. I'm just fed up with it, and I'm not going to put up with it anymore. That's just it. I'm not going to put up with it anymore. And I don't think any of you should either. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. So, it's become quite obvious, these evildoers and their attempt yet again to stop and shut down the MAGA movement by assassinating Charlie Kirk has completely backfired on them. And it's not just the over 30,000 applications for new chapters. That's certainly a part of it. But they've just woken up the whole nation. And what they've done is, woke has typically meant all this liberal crap, but I don't know, maybe the word has a different meaning now. Woke are the liberals that have finally woken up from their Democrat propaganda after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and are now on the right side of things. A lot of people, what happened, we saw this happen after they shot the president in Butler. When they shot the president in Butler, there were a lot of people red-pilled right away around the country then. And now, even millions more after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And what's happened, there's a lot of things that have happened that have caused this, but people have realized what the left are all about for the first time. A lot of people, they think the Democrat, especially young people, they think the Democrat, they want to provide health care for people and women's health care. All this crap, it's not true. And we can preach to them and talk to them about it till we're blue in the face. But when these evildoers on the left assassinated the great late Charlie Kirk, it hit home for people that are young and a lot of people around the country that are Democrats, and they're like, whoa, these Democrats are evil people. Yeah, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I've got a lot of things I want to break down on my main stream today. I pinned in the live chat, and there's also a link in the description of the video to my main stream, which will start in less than an hour from now. And that's where I'm going to go through all the videos and audio sound bites and articles. So those of you that watch me on the vertical stream, if you go to my main stream, which is pinned in the chat, linked in the description, you watch over there, you'll be able to catch all the audio sound bites, videos, and see the articles and see the videos and everything that I share on my main stream, which will be in less than 1 hour. I mean, let me ask you, you guys in the chat, when did you become MAGA? When did you become a supporter of Donald Trump? When did you become MAGA or a Republican? And, I've been MAGA since Trump came down the escalator. I was supporting Trump running for president back in 2011. He was talking about running for president. But, yeah, look at this. 4 months ago. Look at that. That's amazing. 4 months ago. Yeah, a lot of you longer, since day one. Day one, absolutely. Me too. Yeah, I've been MAGA since day one. Yeah, we were MAGA before there was MAGA, some of us, right? Before we called it MAGA. But if you've noticed on my show, the last 4 days or so, there's been a major shift in the tone of the callers. You know, there's a lot of people that the assassination of Charlie Kirk has just woken them up. Woken them up. Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, that's what I was saying. Woke maybe has a different meaning now. Knoxville, Tennessee. Welcome, Gilbert. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. You know, no one knew, not even Charlie Kirk knew how popular and important he truly was to people in this country. I mean, you know, the left have been trashing our great country for so long. They've been trying to take down our heroes and icons and inspiring American people. And then they went over the line again. And, you know, the liberals have no boundaries. These never-Trumpers on the left, they assassinated the great Charlie Kirk. And we have this American martyr, this MAGA martyr, this Christian martyr, this great American hero who is going to have roads named after him, schools named after him, and he's going to become like a John F. Kennedy-like figure in this country. It truly is amazing. You know, I mean, he was murdered not just by these monsters who assassinated him, not just because of his activism success, but I didn't realize, I knew he was Christian, but I didn't realize how much a part of what he did was spreading the word of Jesus. I didn't realize that till after he was gone. And maybe that's true with a lot of you guys too, huh? Maybe. Yeah. And this support, you know, somebody that I've known for almost my entire life. I just saw like a personal friend of mine that I've known since I was a kid. Never talked politics, never knew anything about their politics. They're going to a Charlie Kirk vigil, not here in South Florida, somewhere else in Florida. And I was like, wow. I didn't even know. And they're a little older than me. I didn't even know they were into politics. In fact, I just assumed they were liberal for some reason, but we never talked about politics. I'm like, this just blew me away. I just saw it this morning. One of my regular friends that I just am not involved in politics with. It's truly amazing how many people were touched by Charlie Kirk. Who knew? You know? And you know, these liberals, everything they've done is to try to stop the MAGA movement from day one against Trump for over 10 years now. And every time they make a move, they make the movement stronger and larger. You know, I guess it kind of started, maybe the first attack, and this is a minor attack compared to Charlie and shooting the president, but it kind of started when Hillary called us deplorables, and then immediately we embraced deplorables and started calling ourselves deplorables, right? And that was the beginning of when the left and the never-Trumpers tried to discount MAGA, which turned into lawfare, which turned into shooting the president in Butler, which turned into the assassination of Charlie Kirk. They've continued to amp up their extremism while they're calling us fascist, dangerous, and violent. They're the ones doing it. You know, I mean, how many people worked for Trump that they put in prison? Peter Navarro, Steve Bannon, and others. How many got arrested? How many lawyers of his were arrested? They shot him, tried to shoot him again. I mean, you know, come on. We're the fascists? Are you kidding me? Yeah, of course the assassin is a liberal. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Roger Stone. I mean, it goes on. Who was the campaign manager from the first campaign that went to, I forgot his name. The guy that wore like the ascots. I forgot his name. What was his name? I'll know it if somebody puts it in the chat. You know who I'm talking about. He was the one that knew about convention wrangling. I interviewed him on my podcast, and I cannot remember his name. He's not out there anymore, probably because he's gotten old. Manafort, yeah, Manafort. You know, another one people forget about. I even forgot about Manafort, and I've interviewed him. You know, but we're the fascists. They literally have political prisoners, these Democrats. Literally. Not figuratively, literally. Now, the link I pinned in the chat, that's to my main stream today, where the main chat will be. And you want to watch over there. That stream will start in about 50 minutes. And less than an hour. And there I will, you'll be able to, of course, see and hear me and call me on the air. But also, you'll be able to see all the audio and video that I play and hear all of that. And I want to break down a lot of stuff today we're going to cover. You will not want to miss today's main stream. So make sure you click that link, click that notification bell. I'll be there in less than an hour after I get my fresh coffee from Starbucks. Then I'll head right back to the studio and get on the air. Yes, welcome everyone. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Well, you know, this memorial service on Sunday in Arizona that the president is going to attend at the arena. It's, what is it, 70,000 seats? They're going to have overflow way outside. It is, it's going to be the most attended funeral in the history of the United States. It really is. It really is. I mean, presidents don't get the kind of turnout that Charlie Kirk is getting. There's a period of mourning going on. And I know a lot of people say, well, you got the people dancing. That's true. But, you know, there were people that were, there was no social media or internet then, but there were people celebrating when they assassinated Martin Luther King and President Kennedy, believe it or not. You know, and the Turning Point USA movement, if you listen to, it was talked about twice yesterday. President Trump in the Oval Office yesterday was talking about the future of Turning Point, and J.D. Vance, who filled in with Charlie Kirk. And it looks like the Trump team are taking over Turning Point. And, of course, Charlie Kirk's widow will be heavily involved. But J.D. Vance, when he was filling in for Charlie Kirk yesterday on his radio show and podcast, was detailing what they're going to do. And President Trump made a reference. And, of course, Charlie Kirk's widow will be heavily involved. But, I was talking on Friday. How I've been saying how the same people assassinated Charlie Kirk that assassinated Martin Luther King and the Kennedys. And after Martin Luther King was killed in 1968, the civil rights movement never really was organized after that. You had a bunch of con men like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and others try to say they were civil rights leaders, but it kind of fell apart. And these never-Trumpers and liberals that assassinated Charlie Kirk, they were thinking the same thing would happen at the Turning Point. And Trump and JD are not going to let that happen. And exactly right. They're not going to let that happen. And this movement is going to be stronger and more effective than ever. In fact, more people have already gotten interested and involved than Charlie Kirk may have been able to get involved in the next 10 years. And when I heard JD yesterday, I didn't realize, I don't think anybody did outside of the inner Trump cabinet circle, how involved Charlie Kirk was with cabinet picks and getting this administration, the second term, going. He was involved in every level of the organization and the transition of the second Trump administration. he was so heavily involved, more so than I realize. Is very important, and the monsters that are behind his assassination realize that this was an attempt to stop the MAGA movement. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. You're still using these inflammatory words. They got Charlie Kirk assassinated. I mean, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Just classless people on the left. Completely classless. But I have a lot I'm going to cover today. So the link that I pinned in the live chat there is to the main stream, which will be in a little more than 30 minutes. And if you click that stream, you'll catch my main show today, and you'll be able to see and hear all the audio and the visuals that I show and cover, because I've got a lot to break down, a lot. And of course, I'll be taking live calls from you guys watching me online. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Yeah, well, that caller said the other day, that was so true. Yeah, everything's going well. The second term of Trump, aside from this god-awful political assassination of Charlie Kirk, what Trump's doing is amazing. Look at this. He took out another drug trafficker boat. So they've taken out 3 now. And President Trump was talking yesterday about how the drug trafficking has all but stopped in the ocean. You know, this boat they took out yesterday was just a test. They were testing if the United States would do anything about it. And sure enough, they did. I'm guessing that we have spies inside the cartels that are telling them about these drug boats, right? What do you guys think? Because these are really small boats for military strikes out in the ocean, and they're nailing them. Their intelligence is very good. Very good. Are they drones? Are they coming from ships? Who knows? But they have very good intel on the boats. No doubt about that. Australia, welcome. Welcome. Make sure that you subscribe. Oh yeah, I've got so much to cover today. It was, you know, we've got the confession of the assassin before his arrest. You know, I've got a lot to cover, In fact, there's so much has broken just since I went to bed last night that it was a little difficult for me to decide what the lead story was going to be and the thumbnail and everything, because so much has just dropped. You know, and Governor Hochul endorsing Zohan. What is surrender? I mean, what is that all about? So you know, Governor Hochul of New York and the Democrat Party are gonna let this Islamic child with no experience doing anything, who's Muslim, very religious Muslim, a socialist, which is really communist, take over New York City and be the front man of their entire political party. What insanity is going on here? You know, the Democrats, you know, if they were smart, they would have someone in their party that they think could run for president, take the lead in condemning the celebration and the assassination of Charlie Kirk. But who is the top Democrat that you've seen go out there and condemn the assassination of Charlie Kirk? Because I don't think I've seen any of the Democrats take a strong stand. Have you? Against that assassination? I can't think of one. Have you seen it? No, I'm not talking about something, oh, it was bad. I'm talking about taking a strong stand against it. No, they haven't. What you're talking about that they did is just some afterthought. Oh, I think it was a bad thing, but he was a racist. He was this, he was that. No, that doesn't count. I'm talking about it doesn't matter what his opinion is. This is wrong. And I condemn this. And all of you that are celebrating this, how dare you call yourselves Democrats? We don't want you in our party. You are vile people. But none of them have done that because they want these lunatics to support them. That is their constituency. That's pretty obvious. Let me get my seatbelt on. All right. Gotten so spoiled with rearview cameras when you're backing up, huh? Remember driving without those? I haven't had a car without a rearview camera in so long. I don't know what that'd be like. It used to suck having to bend way back when you backed out. We're in dark MAGA mode right now. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. My name's Brian, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. But, you know, it's really, you know, the assassination of Charlie Kirk by these never-Trumpers and leftist and evildoers, you know, you look at everything they've done, it's been an escalation. Like I said, the first attack on the MAGA movement was mild. It was Hillary calling us deplorables. And we thought Butler, Pennsylvania, when the never-Trumpers shot President Trump, that'd be it. They would tone things down after that. And then they tried to shoot him again at the golf course, and that failed. And we kind of thought, I think that, okay, you know, we had the law fairies back in office. They're always going to go after him, but, you know, and then the people that shot the president in Butler just assassinated Charlie Kirk. So when you look at what the never-Trumpers have done, it's always been an escalation, right? An escalation. And no matter how over the line they've gone, they've never pulled back and cooled things off. So it's really frightening. After this, what are they going to do next? I mean, this is, you know, the never-Trumpers' assassination of Charlie Kirk has backfired on them tremendously. And these evildoers aren't saying to themselves, oh, well, that didn't work. You know, what they're thinking is, okay, what can we do next to stop the MAGA movement? That's what they're thinking. They're not thinking, okay, we went over the line, we got to cool our jets. No. They're regrouping for whatever they're going to plan next. I can't imagine. But that's, if you follow the history of this, it's been over 10 years of this since Trump came down the escalator. And it's always been an escalation from the never-Trumpers. They've never pulled back. amazes me how many people are out on the road this early going to work. If you're new to my program, make sure you subscribe, guys, okay? And that link I pinned in the chat, it's also in the description. That's the link to my main stream, which will start in less than 30 minutes, where I'm going to cover in detail all of this and go over the audio, video, and articles, and you'll be able to see and hear all of that. So when I end this stream, click that link, go over there, and I'll be there in less than 30 minutes. All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe, all right? This is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk. Yeah, I mean, how many of you are going to stay home on Sunday and watch the Charlie Kirk Memorial? I'm going to watch the whole thing all day. Yep. I'll watch it on Right Side Broadcasting a lot, and I'm sure it'll be on Fox. Yeah, I'm not doing anything on Sunday. I'll do a live stream in the morning, and then I'll watch the memorial all day. It is sad, but important. Sad, but important. Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, this was, what a lot of people do, like this trap guy here. They throw out random murders. The Gabby Gifford thing was a completely different thing. Charlie Kirk was a targeted political assassination to stop a political movement. It's like when President Kennedy and Martin Luther King were killed. There were other people that were shot around that time too. But when you're targeting the number 2 guy in the leading political movement in the country, that's a lot different than a random murder here and there. All murders are bad, don't misunderstand me. But there's no comparison to the significance of this compared to these other ones you guys keep throwing out. All right? But that's what they do on the left. All right, guys, so listen, I'll see you on the next stream, which will be in about 20 minutes or so. The link to my main program in the main chat is there it's pinned in the live chat. It's also in the description of the video. All right, I'll see you guys on the next stream. Thanks for watching. I'm Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for watching. Take care.